Hannah, and today we are bringing you.
I'm Cameron, by the way.
And we are bringing you our July wrap-up and August TBR. This one isn't necessarily in July, but it was at the very end of June. So I finished this book on June 28th, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. And it is The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I absolutely love this book. That was the tag. Something to do with Stephanie Meyer always brings me back to reading. I took a break from reading for about 2 years. I kind of threw in 50 Shades of Grey and The Hunger Games, but I didn't really read anything out of that. But The Host is what brought me back to reading again. And yeah, the next book that I read is I finished it on July 1st and gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Mortal Hearts by Ellen Schreiber, and it is the last book in the Vampire Kisses series, and I really wanted to go ahead and just finish the series. It's a good series. I read it whenever I was going through my vampire obsession, and I wanted to read every book out there that was about vampires, and it's one of the series I came across. And so I wanted to finish the series, and I thought it was cute but kind of cheesy. Then next after that, I finished 6 Days Later, July 7th, and gave it a 5 out of 5. The Selection by Kira Cass. I absolutely love that book, and I can't wait till I get The Elite. I don't know when I'm going to order it, but I will eventually. And then 5 days later, I read Matched by Ali Condi, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It wasn't my favorite, but I liked it. I would have gave it a 3 out of 5, but the ending, like the second half of the book, really went more fast paced, and that's what made me give it a 4 out of 5. So then next after that, 5 days later, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. The ninth book in the House of Night series, which is Destined. Again, I read this series whenever I was trying to find vampire books, and it's one of the series I came across. It was one of my favorite series. It still kind of is. I don't know. This book is just dragging. I'm just ready for it to end. They just add so much stuff now. I mean, I'm gonna keep up with it. It's just I want to be done with it. And then 4 days later, I finished the next book, the 10th book, which I also gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Hidden. Right there. I have a lot of feelings about that book. I mean, good feelings, but okay. And then, next after that, I picked up 4 days later, I picked up a book and gave it a 5 out of 5. And this book I've been meaning to read for a very, very long time. And it is Pretty Little Liars by Sarah Shepard. I absolutely love the book. It's similar to the show. There's a couple things that are different, which I might be doing a book review over. Hopefully, maybe, possibly, probably. Yeah. And then the next day, I picked back up another book, which I stopped reading because of the book-2-a-thon, and then I read about a third of the way in, maybe? Yeah. And gave it a 5 out of 5, and it is Crust, which is the second book in the Match trilogy. Again, I'm probably going to do a review on this one too, because it was so good. I have to express my feelings.
So, the first book that I finished, which I actually finished June 28th, is The Sea of Monsters. This is book number 2 of the Percy Jackson series. Loved this book. So good. The next book that I finished, which it says on here that I read June 29th, I don't know. Anyways, it was The Maze Runner, which is the first book of the Maze Runner trilogy, and I rated it a 4 out of 5. It's good, I guess. The next book that I read, which was finished in July 10th, picked a 5 out of a 5.
Beautiful Darkness,
Which is the second book in the Castor Chronicles. I enjoyed this book very much because it gave me a lot of emotions, and I can't even. The next book I finished on July 15th, which is 5 days later. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, and it is Matched. It's by Ali Condi, and yeah, I don't know how I feel.
You liked it, but it wasn't your favorite. It was
There we go. The next book that I finished was read on July 21st, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and that is The Scorch Trials. This is the second book of the Maze Runner trilogy, and yeah, the storyline of these books is very interesting. It's not a spoiler. So, there you go. Okay. And of course, the next book that I read after that was read on July 27th, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and that is The Death Cure, which is the final book in the Maze Runner trilogy. And I pretty much gave every single book of the trilogy 4 stars.
TBR. So far, I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish the series because there are 8 books in the series, and it is The City of Bones. And Cameron left, so I'm going to talk about this. I didn't realize last night when I opened the book, it's like, I don't know if you can tell, but the spine's like bent, and then the person that owned it wrote in the book, it's all bent, it's yellow, but that doesn't matter. Books get yellow over time. And she's back. And then the back of the book, too, is also bent. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe. Oh, right there. Yeah, it's in bad condition. I think one day I'm going to go out and buy either the movie cover edition or just, like, a newer one. Probably the movie cover edition because it looks really awesome. And that's really all I have planned. I don't know. I really don't know how long it's going to take me to finish the series. I'm assuming that once I, really get into it, I'm on chapter 6. I'm not really that far, but it's really good so far. And I'm assuming that once I, really get into it, I'm not going to be able to put them down. And I don't really know what I'm going to read after that. I ordered The Darkest Minds and The Fifth Wave and a bunch of other books, so I'm assuming those books are coming next. But that's all I really have planned.
Okay, since the month of August is very busy for me, since I have volleyball tryouts, that takes most of my time. So for school, I'm reading Fahrenheit 451, and I'm reading it now. It is by Ray Bradbury, and I plan to finish that, of course, before school, because I kind of need to, or they're going to yell at me. So, I'm going to finish that, and if I have time in the month of August, possibly, then I will read Looking for Alaska by John Green. I haven't gotten to it yet because there's been other books. I really wanted to read this because John Green is an awesome author and because I read The Fault in Our Stars. Then the next book that I can possibly read is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. And I've been wanting to read this for quite a while because I've heard it's a good book and I haven't seen the movie yet, which has Logan Lerman. And I just love him. And I want to see the movie, but I have to read the book first. If the time permits, I will read the first book.
You're going to.
I'm going to, right, because the movie comes out. Okay.
23rd.
Oh, Lord.
So as soon as you finish Fahrenheit 451, you better start that poop.
Okay, I'm going to start this poop once I finish my book for school. So, there we go. We're going to read City of Bones.
She's going to follow right after me because I found out that I'm a really fast reader. She's a somewhat fast reader, but I think I'm faster because I read 8 or 9 books in July, and she read 4, 5.
I was busy.
See? Yeah, and I was busy too.
I'm busy this month. That's coming up.
And so with that, this video is really long for something that's
an
really
update.
short. So, yes.
Stay fab and foxy!
Bye!
Girl.